This just in, a mysterious man named Dr. Mad has threatened to remove science from the world.
It turns out his first focus is on environmental biology. He's removing plants, animals, cycles of life, everything. And he started out by removing some of our most beloved landscapes.
This man must be stopped.
Oh my gosh. The world is under attack. There's a man named Dr. Mad who has literally gone mad, and he has taken measures to destroy the universe by removing all science. Meet at the Super Science Lab at once. Dr. Science? Dr. Science, did you hear the news?
I did, Lab Coat Lizzie. This is insane. We have to stop Dr. Mad from removing all the science from the world.
I know, I can't believe he did that. You know what? I think it's time that we open back up our lab. I think it's time for some super science.
I think you're right, Lab Coat Lizzie. I'm so excited we're working together on this.
But wait, we need some help on this. We can't do it alone. But not just any help. We need your help. Super scientist kids, are you guys ready to come on this adventure with us? Let's go see the lab.
Welcome to Super Science, Week 1, Biology Blast.
This week, we're gonna be learning about, drumroll please, biology! And everything that relates to biology as well. Dr. Science,
Yes, Lab Coat Lizzie?
what is biology?
That's a great question, Lab Coat Lizzie.
Biology is the natural science that studies life and living organisms. This includes their physical structure, chemical processes, molecular interactions, development, and evolution. That's a lot of stuff. Let's break this down. Biology is the study of living organisms. What are organisms? Well, organisms are living things like plants and animals.
So, am I an organism?
Yes, you are. And so are dogs, cats, sunflowers, giraffes, and millions of other things. Within living organisms, there is so much to study. One of these is their physical structure, or how they are built. For example, if we look at a giraffe's physical structure, they have a really long neck and long legs. This helps them reach food that is very high up in the trees. Another thing we can study is their chemical processes.
What are chemical processes?
Chemical processes are ways that chemicals go through change. Chemical processes that occur in our body usually occur in our cells. The only way we could see these cells is if we use a device like a microscope, since they are really, really small.
Wow, that's so cool! So, you've mentioned cells. What are cells?
Cells are one of the smallest structural and functional parts of an organism. Organisms are made up of millions and billions of cells. In fact, humans are made up of even more. We are made up of about 30 trillion cells.
And to further explain biology, let's look at one part of it, water, and more specifically, weather. So that brings us to...
Lab time! Welcome to the lab. Today we're going to be experimenting by making something called a storm in a bottle. So here are our materials. They're really small. So here we have blue food coloring. We have half a cup of water and another half a cup of water. And then we have shaving cream and a spoon to go with it. First off, you'll need a glass half full of water. And then the shaving cream, which is going to represent the clouds. So, using the spoon, You're gonna put the shaving cream on top so that the glass becomes 2/3 full. This is so hard. You're recording the whole thing?
Yeah. Alright, after this, that should be about 3/4. And now you're gonna spread it evenly with the spoon over the water.
Clouds in the sky hold on to water. They can hold on to millions of gallons of water. The layer of shaving cream is our pretend cloud in the experiment. The shaving cream layer can also hold on to water. Clouds can't keep storing more and more water forever. Eventually, they get too heavy. Let's see what happens as we continue the experiment.
So here we have our other half cup of water. So this is where the fun part comes in. The food coloring comes in. So we're going to put in 10 drops into the cup of water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, taking the spoon, we're going to mix it.
Now we're gonna gently add the colored water spoonful by spoonful to the top of the shaving cream. When it gets too heavy, watch it storm.
Coming down. That's so cool, guys. Look at that.
As we saw in the experiment, this is how precipitation, also known as rain, works. Eventually, as we added more blue water to the top, it became too heavy for the cloud or the shaving cream, so it started to let little streaks of it go through into the rest of the water. That's how rain works. The clouds can hold millions of gallons of water, and eventually they can't hold anymore, so they let some go. And this also is for other types of precipitation, such as snow, sleet, hail, and so many others.
Wow, that was such a fun and educational lab. Now, let's move on to our Scientist of the Week. This week's Scientist of the Week is Harold Amis. He was the first African-American microbiologist, and he was also the first medical chair at Harvard University. Amis discovered a particular form of RNA called E. coli. Because of his discovery, other scientists were able to make discoveries as well. And Amis, he was really into education and often cited teaching as one of his greatest passions. Dr. Science, I have yet another question.
What is it, Lab Coat Lizzie?
What is microbiology and what's environmental biology?
That's a great question, Lab Coat Lizzie. Microbiology is the study of microorganisms, which are really, really, really small organisms. Environmental biology is the field of biology that studies the environment. That is, the place we live in. The environmental biology field has several scientists who are trying to fix environmental problems, like global warming. Environmental biology deals with everything in nature, including the weather, the trees, living organisms, even the desert and the mountains.
Now, kids, it's time to move on to our Super Science Challenge of the Week.
Celery, celery, celery time!
Hey, Rohan,
Yeah?
how did the vegetables ask to have a raise?
Let us have a raisin celery!
Yes!
So for this Super Science Challenge, we're going to be observing xylem and celery. Let's go over materials. So we'll need celery, we'll need a cup or a jar or a vase, any of those work, and you'll need to fill it with 1 cup of water. And you'll need food coloring. We have red food coloring. So first, with your cup of water, we're going to add 5 drops of food coloring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to use a spoon to stir. Next, we're going to add a few pieces of celery into it. Leave the celery in the water overnight and let's see what happens tomorrow.
This is what it looks like after being in the water for 24 hours.
Plants use a system called xylem, which basically pull up water from the ground up to the leaves of the celery. It's sort of like a water slide where instead of the water is going down the slide, it's going up the slide. This process is passive, meaning it doesn't require any energy for this to occur. That's why we don't need to keep it in the sun. We can actually keep it inside while this process is happening overnight. And the lines that we see, the lines of food coloring that we see on the celery after we see it overnight are the xylem.
So, now that the experiments are over, it is time to take a visit to our activity arcade.
Wow.
So for this week's activity, it's pretty simple. And since we're talking about nature and the environment, we're going to be focusing on trees. So your challenge and activity this week is to go outside, look at all the trees in your backyard or look at the trees near you and draw a picture of them or write a description about them. And we would love to see your submissions and talk about it with you guys as well. Phew! Dr. Science, that was such a long but exciting day.
It was.
I had so much fun and I learned so much.
Same.
And you know what? We couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys learned so much about biology today and we are so proud of you. And guess what?
We think Dr. Mad is gone for good.
Why do I get the feeling that...
Dr. Mad isn't gone for good?
Why do I get the feeling that...
He's chasing us?
Run!